All right, get ready because today we're going deep, really deep into the world of power dynamics.
Yeah, using Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power as our guide, a book full of historical examples and a bit of a reputation.
Exactly. But we're going to break down these laws and see how they apply to you, your career, even everyday life.
It's about understanding the rules of the game.
So, first up, Law 6, court attention at all cost.
All about standing out, becoming a magnet for attention. Greene uses the story of Count Lustig.
A con man, right?
Yeah, he cultivated this air of mystery.
Like showing up at a fancy hotel alone, making everyone wonder, who is this guy?
Exactly. Lustig played on that curiosity. But think about it. How do you stand out in a crowded job market, a
Yeah.
sea of social media profiles?
Good point. It's not about being flashy, but finding what makes you memorable, right? Expertise, style, your online presence, even.
It's about creating a sense of intrigue, drawing people in.
So not just attention, but the right T kind of attention. Now, Law 7, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit.
I raise some eyebrows, but it's really about leverage.
Delegation, collaboration, right?
Finding those who can contribute while you get the recognition. It gets even more interesting with Law 26. Use decoy objects of desire, red herrings, to throw people off the scent.
Ooh, misdirection. Tell me more.
Think of Yellow Kid Oil. Staged elaborate setups, a fake diamond mine, a rigged boxing match.
Wait, are we learning from con men now?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
While we're not advocating deception, misdirection has its uses in business. Think of marketing campaigns that create hype for one product, boosting another.
Or delegating tasks so you can focus on the big picture.
Exactly. It's understanding where to direct attention for maximum impact.
These power dynamics are subtle, so it's strategy and finesse, not just brute force.
Exactly. Now, Laws 12 and 13, Psychology of Persuasion. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim.
Okay, sounds tricky. Are we being manipulative?
Not necessarily. A well-placed act of honesty or generosity can build trust. Think about it.
Hmm.
Genuine actions made people more receptive.
Like building rapport before a request.
Exactly. Ties in with Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude.
Not playing the victim, but showing how helping benefits them.
Precisely. Greene uses the example of the Corinthian ambassador, failed to persuade Athenians because he appealed to gratitude.
While the Corcyraeans appealed to Athens' self-interest, and won.
Exactly. Frame your request to align with the other person's goals.
Makes you think about how we miss opportunities because we don't communicate the value for the other side.
Common mistake.
Yep.
People help when they see a benefit for themselves.
Okay, Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy.
Yeah.
A bit darker, right?
Emphasizes gathering information to understand rivals, get closer, observe, learn weaknesses.
So strategic relationships. But doesn't that risk isolation? Like Law 18, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous.
Absolutely. Tension between those two. Information is valuable, but isolation can backfire. Qin Shi Huangdi, first emperor of China, built a magnificent palace, surrounded himself with yes men,
Completely detached.
leading to his downfall. Cautionary tale about isolation, even when you think you're protected.
Finding that balance between information and connections. You can't be a lone wolf.
Right. Keep your friends close, enemies closer, but actually half these friends first.
Next, Laws 33 and 34. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew.
Gets to human vulnerability. Everyone has a weakness, fear, desire, something that can be leveraged.
Sounds manipulative.
Hold on. Now consider Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one.
So confidence, projecting authority, how do those connect?
It's subtle. Knowing someone's thumbscrew isn't about exploiting it. It's about using that knowledge.
I see, I see.
Say, you're persuading a colleague insecure about public speaking.
You wouldn't prey on that, right?
Instead, subtly compliment their style, express admiration for their articulation,
Appealing to their desire for validation.
creating a receptive environment. It's not manipulation. It's using understanding to guide your actions.
It makes sense. Okay, Laws 40 and 41, some cautionary advice. Law 40. Despise the free lunch.
Nothing is truly free. Strings attached, hidden costs, unseen obligations.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. We all fall for those free offers.
Exactly. Law 41 builds on that. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes.
So both warn against relying too much on outside support or trying to copy someone else's success.
Exactly.
Did
Louis
you-
XV inherited the throne from Louis XIV, but failed to live up to the legacy. It's hard to follow a legend.
Carve your own path. Make your own contribution.
Absolutely. And finally, Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aim for. In victory, Learn when to stop.
Don't get greedy, know when to quit.
More than that, it's self-control. Even in victory, easy to get carried away. Cyrus the Great, after many victories, pushed too far, suffered defeat.
Overconfidence can lead to bad decisions.
Exactly. Pause, assess, consolidate your wins.
Wow, a lot to think about. Stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into the 48 laws of power.
Welcome back. Ready for more laws of power?
Definitely. My brain is already working overtime after that first set. Let's jump into Law 37. Create compelling spectacle.
The art of captivating an audience, making a big impression. Greene uses P.P. Barnum as an example, the legendary showman.
Putting on a show, but is it all style and no substance?
There's always that risk. But Barnum was a master storyteller, capturing people's imaginations.
So like brands today using visual storytelling, events, even stunts?
Exactly. The modern equivalent of Barnum's exhibitions, but digital. It makes you think, where's the line between a captivating spectacle and manipulation?
Great question. Gets to the ethics of these laws. Authenticity is key, right? People can tell when something's just for show.
Absolutely. It's finding that sweet spot between memorable experience and a genuine message.
Okay, Law 15. Crush your enemy. Totally. Sounds intense.
It does, right? But maybe it's about recognizing the danger of leaving an opponent to regroup, being decisive.
So like in business or even personal relationships, leaving a conflict unresolved can create future problems.
Right. Sometimes showing mercy can backfire. It's about knowing when assertive action is needed.
To prevent future conflict.
Exactly. A complete victory can be necessary for lasting peace.
Interesting. Now, Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Wait, actually surrendering.
Might seem strange, but yielding can be strategic. Choosing your battles, a retreat can lead to a stronger position. Greene uses the example of Themistocles, the Athenian general.
He used a surrender tactic to defeat the Persians.
He lured them into a trap, turning their strength against them.
Okay, that's military. How about in everyday life?
Negotiations, for example. Offering a concession can disarm your opponent.
Creating an opening for you to gain advantage later.
Right. Playing the long game, not just short-term wins.
Strategic maneuvering, appearing to yield while setting yourself up for a better position.
Exactly. Now, Law 23. Concentrate your forces.
Pretty straightforward, focusing on a specific goal.
Yes, but we often spread ourselves too thin. The Rothschild banking dynasty, for instance, built their empire by concentrating on specific industries, geographic regions.
So they found their niche, went all in.
And by focusing, they developed expertise, built a powerful network.
This resonates. I've tried juggling too many projects, feeling overwhelmed. It's a reminder to prioritize.
Valuable lesson. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier.
Being charming, diplomatic.
More than that, understanding social dynamics of power, navigating relationships, making yourself indispensable.
Mastering the social game.
Greene uses the example of Baldassare Castiglione, the 16th century Italian courtier. Cultivate a wide range of skills. Conversation, wit, knowledge of the arts, diplomacy.
Being well-rounded, adaptable.
Exactly. Fitting in seamlessly. It's like networking today.
Building connections, making yourself valuable. Now, Law 25. Recreate yourself. Seems perfect for our age of social media.
Taking control of your image, shaping perceptions. We all play roles. Successful people master self-presentation.
Crafting a persona, right?
Think of Julius Caesar, cultivated his image as a leader. Military victories, speeches, even his appearance.
Master personal branding.
Exactly. And today, this law is more relevant than ever. How you present yourself online, your social media image.
Creating a personal brand that reflects your goals.
Being intentional and strategic with self-presentation.
Law 26 again, we touched on it before. Use decoy objects of desire and red herrings to throw people off the scent.
The art of misdirection, creating distractions. Like a magician.
Being sneaky, throwing people off. But is it dishonest?
Not dishonest, but strategic. Understanding perception. Greene uses Otto von Bismarck, unified Germany through decoys and red herrings.
Leaking false information.
Keeping his rivals guessing. But where's the line? It's a balance. We don't advocate outright deception, but strategic misdirection can be useful. Think about negotiations, highlighting certain aspects of a deal.
Or marketing, creating buzz around certain features.
It's about creating an illusion, but ethically avoiding deception.
Okay, Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. A bit extreme.
It's understanding how to tap into those deep desires for belonging, meaning, certainty.
So creating a sense of community.
Yes, but there's a darker side. Think about cults, how they manipulate people.
Recognizing the power of belief systems for good or bad.
Be critical thinkers, question assumptions, avoid blindly following.
Thinking for ourselves. Now, Law 28. Enter action with boldness.
Decisive action, projecting confidence, seizing the initiative.
Fortune favors the bold. But what about the risks? Acting without thinking.
It's a balance, but hesitation can be detrimental too. Sometimes a bold step, even if risky, creates momentum. Think of entrepreneurs, activists.
So calculated risks, not just recklessness, knowing when to push, when to play it safe.
Reading the situation, trusting your instincts.
Okay, Law 29, plan all the way to the end.
Thinking ahead, anticipating obstacles, having a vision.
So not just a plan, but a plan that accounts for setbacks, being prepared.
Greene uses the example of Helmuth von Moltke, known for meticulous planning. He said, no battle plan survives contact with the enemy, but emphasized having an objective, a flexible strategy.
Having a roadmap, but being adaptable. A vision, but open to change.
You got it. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless.
Hiding our hard work, making it look easy.
More about presenting your accomplishments to highlight skill and talent. Think of athletes, musicians.
So, not being fake, but showcasing mastery.
It's understanding perception.
Okay, Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal.
Setting the agenda, framing choices, subtly influencing decisions.
Like a puppet master. But not forcing, just making them choose what benefits you.
Greene uses Louis XIV, master of this. Presented options all aligned with his desires.
Being strategic, anticipating choices, setting the stage.
Valuable in negotiations, managing a team.
We're often presented with choices that seem like our own, but aren't.
All the time. Think about marketing, advertising, how politicians use language.
Okay, Law 32. Play to people's fantasies.
People are drawn to illusions, myths, grand narratives.
Giving them what they want to believe. And escape.
Think of the Spanish conquistadors, lured by El Dorado.
Blinded by desire, risking everything for a fantasy.
And today, with social media, curated images, idealized realities.
We believe stories that confirm our biases, even if not true.
Be critical thinkers, question narratives. Be aware of how our fantasies shape us.
Law 33 again. Discover each man's thumbscrew. We talked about persuasion, but there's more to it.
Recognizing that everyone has vulnerabilities, weaknesses, secret desires, things that can be exploited.
Understanding people's pressure points.
This knowledge can be used unethically, but it's also essential for understanding behavior.
Being aware of vulnerabilities, ours and others.
Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one.
Confidence, projecting authority. How do you do that authentically?
Cultivate genuine self-worth. Project it outward. People gravitate toward confidence.
They have a magnetic presence, command respect.
It's not a facade. It's developing your own style of leadership.
Balancing being yourself with projecting confidence.
You got it. Law 35. Master the art of timing.
Relevant in today's fast-paced world, we're always expected to make quick decisions.
Recognizing that there's a time for everything. Rushing can be counterproductive.
So being patient, observant, knowing when to strike.
Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, believed in wu-wei, effortless action, going with the flow.
So waiting for the right moment, then taking action.
This applies to everything, from investing to negotiating to launching a product.
I've rushed into things, regretted it later. A reminder to step back, assess.
It's a valuable lesson. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge.
Suppressing our desires, pretending we don't care.
No, it's recognizing that obsessing over what we can't have only leads to frustration.
Acceptance, focusing on what we can control.
Think of Diogenes, the Greek philosopher, simple life, rejected possessions and status.
A minimalist.
He understood that true freedom is detaching from desires for things beyond our control.
I've wasted energy worrying about things I couldn't change. This is a reminder to shift focus.
It's a common trap. We want what we can't have. This law reminds us to appreciate what we have.
Okay, Law 37 again. Create compelling spectacles.
Power of visual display, creating memorable experiences. People are swayed by emotion, sensory experiences.
Putting on a show, making an impression.
Greene uses Henry IV, the 16th century French king. Staged elaborate events to showcase his power, generosity, create unity.
He understood public relations.
Exactly. Relevant today, social media, the demand for attention-grabbing content.
Brands using events, storytelling, stunts to create buzz.
It's about creating a spectacle. But we're not advocating empty spectacle or sensationalism. It's a lesson about presentation, engaging people emotionally.
Okay, Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others.
Might seem contradictory, but blending in can be advantageous, appearing agreeable rather than drawing attention.
Picking your battles, flying under the radar.
Baldassare Castiglione, again, emphasized adapting to social norms.
Being socially intelligent, knowing when to conform, when to assert yourself.
Still relevant today, social media, the pressure to conform.
Being mindful of how we're perceived online, when to stand out, when to blend in.
Balancing individuality with navigating the social landscape. Law 39, stir up waters to catch fish.
Creating chaos.
It's recognizing that upheaval, uncertainty can create opportunities.
Capitalizing on disruption, shaping the new order.
Niccolo Machiavelli, master of exploiting political turmoil.
When everything's changing, people look for leadership. A time to step up.
Relevant today, rapid change, disruption, upheaval.
Entrepreneurs, innovators, they adapt, identify opportunities in crisis.
Being flexible, adaptable, embracing change.
Okay, Law 40. Despise the free lunch.
Nothing is truly free. Hidden costs, obligations.
No such thing as a free lunch.
We accept free things without considering the downsides. The Trojan horse, a gift that led to destruction.
Be wary of gifts that seem too good to be true.
Relevant today, marketing messages, offers that seem irresistible.
Free trials, loyalty programs, social media platforms, they all have hidden costs.
Be discerning, be aware of the downsides. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes.
The pressure of legacy, living up to someone else's success.
Harder to maintain a legacy than create one.
Louis XV couldn't live up to Louis XIV.
Following in a great man's footsteps is challenging.
Finding our own path, our own style.
True success is forging our own identity. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter.
Taking out the leader to disrupt the group.
Not necessarily physical harm. It's about recognizing key individuals whose influence hold the group together.
Identifying the linchpin, understanding power dynamics.
Relevant today. Social networks, online communities, corporate structures.
Removing a key executive, discrediting a thought leader, silencing a social media influencer, all have ripple effects.
Influence is often concentrated in a few individuals. Understanding these networks is essential for exerting influence or disrupting things. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others.
Persuasion, winning people over.
Logic and reason aren't enough. Appeal to emotions, values, aspirations.
Connecting with people on a deeper level.
Demosthenes, the ancient Greek orator, moved audiences with his speeches. He spoke to their hearts and minds.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
I like that. Relevant today, social media, emotional appeals, and storytelling are effective.
Making a genuine connection, understanding their perspective.
Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect.
Literally mirroring someone.
It can be. It's also about reflecting back someone's values, beliefs, even weaknesses.
Holding up a mirror, making them see themselves.
It can be disarming, infuriating, because it forces people to confront things they might not like.
This law could be used for good or bad.
It depends on your intentions. Like many laws, it's a tool. Be aware of the impact, use your knowledge wisely and ethically.
Okay, Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once.
Progress is important, but people resist drastic change. They need time to adjust.
So pacing, introducing change gradually.
Oliver Cromwell led the Puritan Revolution, overthrew the monarchy, but his radical reforms backfired.
He pushed too hard, too fast.
He underestimated tradition, the need for stability, a cautionary tale about implementing change.
Change management is about psychology, A&D strategy.
Absolutely. Law 46. Never appear too perfect.
But we want to be our best. Excel.
Perfection can be intimidating. It triggers envy, resentment, distrust.
Being relatable, showing vulnerability.
Aristides, an Athenian statesman known for integrity. But his perfection led to his downfall.
So even good qualities can backfire.
Human nature is complex. Consider how we're perceived.
This is making me think about how I interact with others.
A valuable insight. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop.
Don't get greedy. Know when to walk away.
It's discipline, self-awareness, recognizing when you've achieved your goal, resisting the temptation to push further.
Knowing when to quit while you're ahead.
Cyrus the Great overextended his empire after many victories and was defeated. Ambition got the better of him.
Easy to get caught up in success.
Maintain perspective, discipline, a clear understanding of your long-term goals.
Okay, finally, Law 48. Assume formlessness.
Cultivating adaptability, fluidity, navigating change with grace.
Being like water.
Adapting, flowing around obstacles, never becoming rigid. In a changing world, adaptability is key. Rigidity and dogma can be our downfall. Openness, flexibility, embracing change.
This is a perfect way to wrap up our exploration. Power isn't brute force, it's understanding human nature, being adaptable.
Exactly. These laws offer timeless insights. It's up to us how we use this knowledge.
So, listeners, keep these laws in mind. Observe them in your workplace, relationships, media, politics. Think about how you can apply them.
Remember, knowledge is power.
And how will you use that power? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 48 Laws of Power.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the 48 Laws of Power. We're in the home stretch now.
You know, it's amazing how much these laws make you think about everyday situations, how they apply in so many ways.
Exactly. It's not just theory. It's about recognizing these principles in real life.
Right. So, Law 45, preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Isn't progress important? Shouldn't we make big changes when needed?
Of course, but people resist drastic change. They need time.
To adjust. Right. To get comfortable with new things.
Exactly. Greene uses the example of Oliver Cromwell, the Puritan Revolution.
Oh, through the monarchy, right.
He did. But his radical reforms backfired.
So he pushed too hard, too fast.
Underestimated the power of tradition, the need for stability.
So it's a cautionary tale about change, whether it's in an organization, a community, even personal life.
Change management is psychology as much as strategy.
Absolutely. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. This seems odd. Don't we want to be our best Excel?
We do, but perfection can be intimidating. It creates envy, resentment.
So be relatable. Show vulnerability so people don't feel threatened.
Greene gives the example of Aristides, known for integrity, but his perfection led to his downfall.
People thought he was too good to be true.
Exactly. Even good qualities can backfire. Human nature is complex.
This makes you think twice about how you might be perceived.
A valuable realization. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aim for. In victory, learn when to stop.
Don't be greedy, know when to walk away.
It's about discipline. Recognizing when you've achieved your goal, not pushing further, risking it all.
Quitting while you're ahead.
Cyrus the Great, after military victories, overextended, suffered defeat.
Got carried away.
It's easy to do. Maintain perspective, discipline, focus on long-term goals.
Okay, last one. Law 48. Assume formlessness.
Adaptability, fluidity, navigating change gracefully,
Like water, right?
adapting to the container, flowing around obstacles. In a changing world, that's key.
Rigidity doesn't work.
Right. Openness, flexibility, embracing change, those are essential.
This is a great way to end our deep dive. Power isn't just about force. It's about understanding people, being adaptable.
Exactly. These laws offer insights from history, psychology, philosophy. It's up to us how we use this knowledge.
Listeners, keep these laws in mind. See how they play out at work, in relationships, in the media, politics. Think about how you can apply them.
Remember, knowledge is power.
How will you use it? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 48 Laws of Power.